What's up, my brother?
How's it going?
Good, man. So last time we met, you're on this TV in front of me, and now you're here in the flesh.
Yes, sir. Super happy to be here.
Man.
I even heard about West Capital Lending from your YouTube channel, and then I decided to apply, and then boom, here I am on your team. It's kind of crazy how that all came.
So excited that you're here, man. I was so excited about your success too, man. You're one of the fastest folks we've had to find success very quickly, which is impressive.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say that pertains to?
One of my biggest strengths is definitely follow-up. I think I'm very, very consistent when I have someone. The good old saying, till they buy or die. That's kind of how I treat them. And then the second one is kind of just utilizing leadership. I mean, I know when I first started, Bailey could tell you, and now that we got Bill, he'll tell you. I don't leave them alone. If I have a question, like, I'm going to get it answered. If I need help, I'm getting it.
Well, that's what it means to be a taker. Be somebody that doesn't sit around and wait for success, but you get up and make stuff happen.
Absolutely.
And I think that's important. 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had an Instagram video that I put up. I was just doing a random audit on a call clip, and the call clip was horrible, just rushing to the application, not getting to know the person. And I was disheartened by it, and I called them by, and we listened to the call. We made a plan to them, slow down, focus on quality, be methodical, build a relationship. And then you'll have more quality conversations, you'll have more deals coming through, and you won't have to work as hard to get the deals. You see, some people work, they put in this much effort, 500 dials, I'm doing everything I can. When in reality, maybe you only need $150 or $200, but better conversations. Maybe instead of sending 5,000 texts, all you need is 1,000 good texts.
Right.
Maybe instead of leaving 500 voicemails, you need 25 good voicemails to get called. So like a lot of times they focus on effort and they forget about quality. So we had that talk last time. So I walked by the desk today, and then the people weren't set up like I did it in the huddle. So I'm like, hey, you didn't set this up. Let me set it up for you. So I go set it up for him, hots, locks, no contact, news, and then process. I pull up the first hot lead. I scroll up, 9 a.m. today, called the client. We listened to the call 4 minutes long, and the last text says, hey, I sent you an application, see if you get pre-qualified. Hot client, you sent her a text at 9, you haven't called her and texted her since. It's 3, 4 o'clock now. All right, go play the call, it's 4 minutes long.
Hey, it's blah, 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 blah. How's your day going? Good. What are you looking at, Combo? Want some cash? Perfect. We have the best rates and the best this for cash out. What's your date of birth?
Straight into it.
What's your social?
Straight into it.
All right, let me see what I could do.
Figure doesn't work.
Okay, goes to Remen.
Everyone in the office is talking. She could hear it. His headset ends up sucking where she could hear the whole office. She hears me she hears me cussing in the background. She hears everything going on in the office. She's like, I'm going to hang up now because no one's talking to me. He's like,
No, I'm almost done. You know what? I'll just send you the application. I'm almost done.
Bye. She hung up. You send her the application for Remen. See if you get pre-qualified. Doesn't know if she's married or widowed. Doesn't know her balance. Doesn't know her value. Doesn't know her rate. I go look at figure. What did he look at? He looked at there. It says doesn't qualify. He didn't even open it up to see details. I open it up to see details. What do I find? $1 million loan and another loan. She ends up owning multiple properties. One of them has $1 million balance. She has a reverse and a mortgage.
Wow.
Is she going to answer us now?
Very unlikely.
Very unlikely.
At best.
So it's just unconscious. So I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing? The old lady could have fucking died on the phone call and you would have hung up and called the next person. Like, you're not a nice person right now. I don't want to work with people like you. I don't hire people like you. If you don't care about humans and you don't enjoy getting to know people and customizing solutions for them, that's not what we represent here. You go to a credit trigger shop, go to a data lead shop, go to a penny shop, and go sell those shitty leads. And you just cold call all day long. This is a place of quality. We pay up to $93 a lead. You're going to call people, you're going to smile, get to know them from your heart, and fucking create a custom solution for them that makes sense like a professional and make them remember you.
A lot of times I'll see everyone having like way more dials than me. Not that their talk time's higher, but I think I do take a long time. When I get somebody on the phone, I keep them on the phone. I mean, I'm not looking to hang up or just send something in. I'll let them talk about their life, their family, pretty much, not as much, right? Within reason. I spend 2 hours with every person, but I do sometimes feel like, oh man, I don't have enough dials. But to hear you say that, it kind of makes you feel a little bit better.
Yeah, man. I mean, ideally, I wish you had no dials and you were just getting, people were just calling you.
Yeah.
You don't have to, like, that's the ideal situation is like, you don't have to dial because people are responding to you and calling you and you have so much follow-up. Do you think it was worth it coming down here?
Yeah, 100%. If we just look at going through the rituals alone, forget all the other stuff, that alone, I think was extremely helpful to me.
Good, man. You gonna come back?
Yeah, definitely. Yes, definitely 100%. I think this was a really, really great experience. And it's funny because when I first started, the first one-on-one we ever had, you kind of mentioned it to me like, hey, you should come out. And my knee-jerk reaction was like, it's a hassle. Who wants to do that? I don't want to travel. Got to be away from home.
Yeah.
But then honestly, what kind of pushed me over the edge, I saw the people that were coming here and it was having a clear impact. Like, for example, Pedro, when he came here, I mean, his production was noticeably different right away. So that really helped. Conrad, too. He did well when he was here. So I was like, you know what? Let me just suck it up, stop being a little baby, and let me go out there because I think it's going to help.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of your success, man.
100%.
Especially a good opportunity to work in the realm of good people that know what they're doing,
Yeah.
Well, it's good, man. We're glad to have you. You're one of our best. You're
Happy
a
to be here.
brand name here. So it started with you watching me on YouTube, and now we're here in the flesh, man.
Yes, sir. It's crazy to think back to that. Wow, I can't believe you remembered that. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. From watching a YouTube video when I worked at another lender to being here.
Yeah, in the flesh like a fucking genie who popped up. All right, man, let's go dominate the rest of the day.
Yes, sir.
Steven Rodriguez, ladies and gentlemen, a brand name at Takers Brokerage. What's up, Natasha?
Hey,
Welcome.
thank you. Happy to be here.
Michigan, Takers Brokerage. How'd you get here today?
Today, Eric took me here to the office.
No, how'd you get here?
Oh.
Universe.
In the universe, even?
Yeah, how'd you get over here? What are you doing here?
Well, I got the privilege to fly down here to the office
Yeah, how long you been with us?
for a whole week.
How long you been with us in general with Takers?
2 months
2 months.
and some change.
How does it feel being here in person?
It's live. It's lit. I don't know how else to put it.
Got it. Was it worth the visit so far?
Oh, 100%.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your biggest takeaways?
I think the obvious one is organization. I think everybody that comes down here is just like bonzo. But we're dealing with so much data. Like there's just so many people, and understanding how to touch them efficiently with our time was humongous.
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
Being able to contact 400 people a day, efficiently is just tough, and work the leads effectively. And I think like without your structure this week, I don't think I would have touched them correctly.
Yeah. Like it's good you understand that because you can't survive and be successful with that mentality,
Yeah.
It's not that kind of market.
I'll just send it, and if they do it, they do it. If not, they're not.
It's like every single deal I get, I'm making people do that deal. Like I'm literally holding their hand and saying, we have to get this done. Like you cannot walk away.
Yeah.
This is important because you told me about your kids and that your savings is this and you're working overtime. And I think those things are the most important things, is talking about, being a single mother, talking about the divorce, talking about the kids, talking about the assets, talking about what's holding them back. What's the first thing you would do when you get this cash? How does your life look differently when you start saving money? Getting their dreams, their emotional goals. And when you have that, that's the real power. So I don't know if you ever get that on your calls, but that's what you should be striving for. You should be striving for the emotional spot of what are they going to do? How does their life change after this? How am I helping their life change?
I do have a question for you on that. I'm working with somebody right now. He owes like 400,000 on his first, I think, or I don't know, like 300,000, and he's at like a 2%. I tried to sell him on the refi. He ain't doing it.
That might not make sense. If it doesn't make sense, sell them the HELOC.
And he wants a big HELOC too. I've been trying to get him on the phone, barely got him on the phone. So it's like, well, I need the P&I or principal and interest, and I need the APR, and I need the spreadsheet for my business Excel spreadsheet. Like this is immediately where he's going, which is basically like, what's the rate and fees, right?
Yeah.
And then he like slowly slips like, well, I have a biker's ride tonight, so I'm going to review this a little bit later. So like there's like my pool, a little bit of personality.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm still just like texting and calling. Like
What did he say? Yes.
he was like going on a bike ride with his like biker group, but like
a motorcycle?
bicycle. I think bicycle.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Is that on the phone he said that?
It was text message.
Got it. Say what kind of bike? Is it a motorcycle or actual bike?
That's pretty good. That's an easy question. Yeah. All right. I was like, oh, cool, bike. I used to bike before. I used to never drive. I only biked for transportation.
Did you say that?
No,
Why not?
I didn't even think it. I think it's just so much easier if we were on the phone.
Yeah.
It's just like
You could text it too. And then
Yeah,
later
you're
on
right.
say how many miles you going for. And then after, how's your bike ride? And then that's your personality to get inside.
I sent him a bike emoji.
That's cool.
I mean, amongst a little bit of other like,
Yeah.
oh, bike, you know, but it wasn't like engaging.
Yeah, but I mean, to answer your question, there is some clients that they're going to harp on fees and this and that. And it's like, sometimes it's okay to just be about that and go to ChatGPT and type it out for them and get me and Bailey involved. And like, there you have your clients that are tougher like that. And like, you can't really find their emotional sweet spot. There's nothing emotional. They just want the cash. They're investors, whatever it is. How long you been investing for? What's your dream? Going into real estate. That's awesome, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe I can learn a little from you. You put them on a pedestal and like they're teaching you now, right? So you just want to make them feel good and make them feel like there's a personal relationship with you and you're their person to go to.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really good, actually.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for coming along. We're glad you're here and excited to see you the next time, a whole new version of yourself.
Yes.
Yes, let's quit it. What up, my brother?
What's going on, man?
You leaving tomorrow?
Leaving tomorrow morning.
Oh, damn, man. You have fun this week?
I did have fun. I'll definitely be back.
Good. Yeah, come back for the pool party.
Yeah.
Last weekend of the month. So was me helping you out with the ritual? Did that help? Like, did this week help you and your business?
Yeah, this week helped me out a lot. As well as I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm getting back in the groove. So
100%, man. And you know, it takes 90 days to really start learning. You know, and the more mistakes you have, the more you start learning.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do this. All right, I could do that, you know?
yeah.
How does it feel jumping from, you know, owning your own business, you know, in the business world, you know, clothing, coming back into mortgages?
Well, something I contemplated about for a long time. Like I've been kind of like, I bought a house with Eric. Actually, Eric did my loan 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to get back in the industry for about 3-4 years. Well, I can't say I've been trying. I've been like thinking about it and
Yeah.
mulling it over and like, oh, I want to get back in the industry. And so I tried last year. Last year, I worked at a couple broker shops. Not gonna say any names. I worked at one broker shop, I should say.
Yeah.
And I was going through training. This is a horrible training. I wasn't able to get the safe test, so I ended up going over to a different broker, and I met up with some people and was able to get the safe test passed. And unfortunately, we parted ways, you know, for mutual, you know, reasons. But I always stay in contact with Eric. So Eric is really the big reason why I'm back in the mortgage industry, because not only did I do my mortgage with him, I sent them to all my friends and business partners to do mortgages for them.
Yeah.
And so I always kept my finger on the mortgage industry through Eric, because he always stayed in there.
Yeah.
I mean, him did mortgages like 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So he's a big reason why I'm back, and obviously why I'm here.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel good about getting back in the business.
Good. It feels like the right move.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure. My license expired like back in like 2016 maybe, because I think I was last active in 2012 and 5 years after that. So yes, like 2016, 17. I remember I got something in the mail from NMLS says, you know, your license is now officially like expired or whatever.
Yeah.
And I looked at it. I was standing in my clothing store. You know, I was making X amount of dollars, you know. I wasn't really worried about it. Like, I'm probably never going to do mortgages again. I ended up ripping it up, doing like, whatever. I mean, I'm making X amount of bank doing clothing, whatever. And so clothing store eventually closed, you know, with downtown Detroit changing. Yeah. So I was like, man, where did I make the most amount of money outside of clothing? I thought like mortgages.
Yeah.
That's what I am. Made sense.
Yeah. Best thing you could sell is money.
Yep.
And I know your main goal is you want to get, you know, to independent, doing your own thing, kind of, right?
Yeah. I want to get to independent.
Yeah.
Do my own thing, but I just want to, I mean, I guess I just got an itch and an urge. I'm an extreme risk taker.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
I've made some good decisions and made some great outcomes out of it, and I've lost before as well. So I still take the same risk either time going back in the game.
Yeah.
After the bat.
Yeah, you have to.
I think you know how that is.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. We're risking every day.
Yep.
Anything else on your mind, man?
I mean, I get a lot of people that are looking for cash out.
Yeah.
And you talk to them about a mortgage, they're scared to refi their first. And then some of people are scared of HELOCs, and they're like, oh, I just want to get a personal loan. I don't want to touch my house. And they don't know that, hey, personal loans are
Worse than HELOCs.
Worse than HELOCs. Minimum 12% starting rate with great credit.
Up to 25%, 30.
30, yeah.
It's almost like a credit card.
And they're short term. They're not.
Yeah,
you
5 years. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get a 15, 20 year. They're 3 to 5 years. So I try to talk them into that. So sometimes I just wonder, like, man, if we had a personal loan, maybe they'd be willing to do that here. But I always try to sell the HELOC or the cash out.
Yeah. And it's all about that custom touch, man. You know, because you're selling cash, but at the end of the day, what is the cash doing for them? And if you could figure that out, how it changes their life, and then use that in the email and the text and the voicemail, get methodical with it, you know, that's how you're going to win this game. You know, sniper, random touch. Like everybody might need 100 leads to do 5. You might only need 20 leads to do 5 if you do the right things with those 20.
Right.
Well, we're glad you're here, man. Welcome back.
Thank
And we're going to see you again for the pool party.
Yes.
At the end of the month. We got Trellis here. He's one of our brand names at Takers Brokerage. Back in the game, doing it right. And I really think, man, by the end of this year, you're going to be a whole nother animal in the sport.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you for being a part of the journey, my brother.
Thank you.
Takers out.